So if you like, we can do a little loving kindness meditation, which if you took MAPS 1, you have done a version of it. And so we'll go a little deeper in this class. So take a posture that is upright, aware. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. And I'm going to take you to a place where you can uh, bring your kindness, offer your kindness to all beings. And so as you sit, relax your shoulders, your mind, your eyes, your body. Feel your breath. Let's take 3 deep inhalations, long exhalations. And as you feel your breath and body, I'd like for you to go on a journey with me. Just imagine you are perhaps in a safe place in a forest, maybe a park or a place where it's comfortable for you. You're just walking in nature, feeling the quiet, the peacefulness. There are trees around, lots of oxygen, and perhaps a little sunlight to give you just the perfect temperature, not too hot, not too cold. And you're just walking through, looking at all these different creatures, plants, bushes. Maybe birds are singing, maybe a bunch of ants walking on the other side, squirrels jumping from one tree to another. When you're in awe, you smile. You feel like, wow, what are they feeling? Your heart opens. Your mind is clear. You have nothing on your mind. And as you walk ahead, you see a small little pond on the side with a little waterfall dripping into it. And you become curious to see if it's warm enough, if it's clean enough. You approach it to sit next to it. And this water has a really good feeling, a great feeling of joy, feeling of just inviting you in. Like, come on in. And you decide that you are going to go in. Take a dip. It's a healing water. It's a water that's just healing your body as you dip your toes in, you walk in, your ankles get wet, and you just feel it. Feel the goodness of this water. You feel the sense of purity, the sense of offering generosity. You just go in and bring yourself down into it, shoulders, arms, legs. And the temperature of the water is just perfect. However, your body is feeling it right now. It's not startling, it's not too warm, it's just perfect. Take a deep breath and find yourself letting go, relaxing. The sun is, the rays are hitting the water, you see it. You can hear the animals, the birds, maybe crickets, and it's silent. There's a silence that is really your mind that's quiet. And out of this great feeling of joy, of this feeling healed, your heart opens to invite others. And you may think of someone to invite them in. Oh, it would be good for them. It would be awesome. Maybe someone who's close to you, someone you care about. And as you're wishing for this, they find the pond and they come forward. And you see them and you invite them in. You invite them in such a way that they know it's good for them, that they want to enter. And they come in and they feel this amazing, grand feeling of safety, wellness, joy. And together you share the space, and together you think of others, other people, other beings. And one by one they appear, they come towards the pond, and you are so fulfilled, so content, that you want to share this with others. And as others enter the pond expands, becomes bigger and bigger, and it's never too small. And you are in such a good place, such a fulfilled place, that your heart opens to all people or some people who are difficult. And you care about them. You realize if they had this, if they experienced such a healing, such a place, if they only had that experience, they might heal within. They might, their hearts may open, and their hearts are full, content. What grand beauty could show up from them? When you realize this, all you want is that for them. And so your heart opens and the pond becomes bigger. And any mind, anyone who enters your mind who is not so skillful, who may not be such a good person in their behavior or their intention, you wish this for them. You want them to come in, and they do. And they walk in. And as they do, your heart becomes even fuller, fuller of joy, becomes even more expansive. You realize that it is not reducing. Your love and kindness is expanding, it's overflowing, and you offer this to all beings all around the universe, whether you see them or not, whether they are born or to be born, whether they are tall or small. You realize there is room for everyone. No matter what they are, who they are, the moment they enter this heart of kindness, the heart expands, the pond expands. And together there is such joy felt, such incredible sense of oneness, a sense of wellness. And so from there, you know that this is not conditional. And it is okay to have unconditional goodwill. It is okay to wish that for all beings. No one has to deserve it. But it has nothing to do with that, but has to do with wellness, well being. And so take a deep breath in, check in with your body and mind. See the heart, your own heart, and notice how you too were there. And you must be there in order to invite these other beings. So take a moment or two, feel your body, your breath. And as you feel comfortable, you can open your eyes and come back to the session. The discussion before with Aaron, we don't have to have expectations, but whatever that was experienced is beautiful.
Well, for me, in the experience, I kept picturing the people that I brought into the my pond as babies for some reason, and it was something to do with just like though I might feel some like unsatisfaction or like some annoyance at a way someone is, or like focus on someone's like negative qualities, they that just is like impossible to like hold against them when you imagine them as a baby and just can like picture like the suffering that they probably went through that caused those negative qualities. And I was really cultivating a lot of compassion for their suffering in this exercise. But yeah.
That's very skillful, very beautiful. Yes, definitely skillful and real. Yeah. You look at the time that they couldn't be like this, couldn't have been like this, or most likely were not like this. Yeah. That's very skillful. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. What else? Was there anybody who did not, who had resistance or anything? But that's also very possible, and it's very real. It's fine. We can explore it.
Well, I felt really good with the squirrels and the crickets and everything. But when we were supposed to invite people, I guess I could have imagined animals and things. It sort of stopped for me. I love the baby idea, though. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's fine. You start to develop this with somewhere that's easy,
Mhm.
so that the mind can build, this concept even, because it's not a concept we are, we're very sort of biased,
Mhm.
biased. Like I remember Diana Winston one time, she said, um, that she was driving somewhere, and somehow the road was clogged and it was a lot of traffic, and there was somebody who was blocking the road, and everybody's becoming agitated, and it was really taking too long, and she was even becoming agitated, and so as soon as that car kind of moved, was able to move out of the way and move, turn or something, she got to see the driver, and it was her best friend, Sue. And she said, "Oh my God, Sue, that's you. Oh no." She even had compassion that Sue had to experience this anxiety and stress of getting stuck, right? And it was such a beautiful, really, example about how biased, we could have. Yeah, we can forgive Sue, who is our best friend. But if it's somebody we just don't know, we can't. We stay annoyed at them. So think about it in this way, that when we are able to include somebody we don't know or somebody who is annoying that we do know, the benefit is immediately us. Our heart changes, our attitude changes, our mood changes, right? Oh my God, from, oh, I can't believe it, I have work to do, there's so much, what are they doing? And you're stressed out, to, oh my God, that's Sue. It's just a very different experience right off the bat for us, right? And then we don't know if, wishing them well will really get to them or not get to them. There are some other practices who talk about energy, sending energy, positive energy and love, and very meaningful energy would impact people, and I do believe in that, because it's kind of like, it's surrounding goodness or not, it does make a difference. So without thinking whether my goodwill is going to impact them or not, but my goodwill is going to impact me in this moment. So you begin with somewhere that's easy, your pet, the baby, whatever. It's like, so creatively Max thought about them as, babies, right? And so, and you develop it so the mind can even conceptualize such a thing, that, oh, you mean I don't have to get upset at somebody who's hateful? Oh, that's an option. Oh, okay, I thought I'm supposed to hate them because that's the right thing to do. That makes me a good person if I hate the hateful person, right? But it's like, okay, I'm gonna drink this cup of poison and hope that the bad person dies. But like, I'm drinking the poison, right? So that's the logic behind it. And then for that reason, you don't force it at all. Don't expect it to come naturally, but work on it. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
When I was in the space where you were sort of expanding, I was imagining like a pool or whatever. And then what you just said, there are two individuals that I saw come to the area, but my mind wouldn't have allow them at all to be in that space of, I wish them well. And I think what I'm hearing as you're talking, or what I'm thinking about now, is this idea of like really trying to depersonalize the experience, and it being sort of just a gesture towards wellness rather than a act between me and that person. That's something that's coming up for me. And if that makes sense. And the other thing is that I feel like there's a step that has to be taken before, which is like forgiveness. Like, I feel like there's like a missing link before I can even imagine like
Yes.
me forgiving them for, treating me the way they treat me or whatever it is,
Right.
before I can even get to this step with them, but being okay with that. But for me, there's like a missing step.
Yes, very good. Excellent. I'm glad you brought it up, because last week, which was the first session, I think you missed it, right? We did talk about forgiveness as another foundation. And excellent. I'm glad you brought it up, because this is a very good, like a situation to use that. So also forgiveness is difficult. It's like, no, why should I forgive them? They don't deserve it. It also attached to that idea of deserving, right? And if I do forgive them, that means I have been victimized and I have been, then what about me? That, we get stuck, right? So we don't want to forgive, and we meander in this unclean, unhappy, suffering space, right? So remember, the first thing is, what is to my best interest, your best interest, right? Having that intention in mind. Forgiveness is about experiencing the pain of the action that you have already experienced it once, twice, right? And not taking the obligation to carry on the pain, to hold on to the pain in order to justify that you have been wronged. You see what I mean? That's like, now that person might, let's just, for example, say this person did wrong you one time. It was horrible. You experienced it. It was just unspeakable. That's not okay, whatever. And that one time is one record of it. Every time we bring it up, we think fully about it. And because we want to keep it authentic, we experience it fully too. The emotions, the feeling, the our opinion about it. We want to keep it authentic so that we could keep it real for ourselves, right? So that finally one day we can be done with it. We can be healing from it. And that act of thinking, feeling, that's like adding a new copy of the original with the same intensity of the original of something that didn't happen. This copy is not the real actual thing that's happened. This is a copy. And then again, and again, and again. Before you know it, you have this incredible, giant, right, book about this one thing that happened, and branches of stories. And I'm just saying one time. It could be, of course, it could be that the person has done this 100,000 times or 10 times or 20 times. But for us, every time we account for it and go through it fully, then we are inflicting upon ourselves again and again and again. And that's something we could do about, with being aware and mindful and not allowing for it. So it's not the act that we are going to condone, the act of the other person, or it could be ourselves having done something we are very regretful about, we need to forgive, right? It's not the act we are condoning. It is not that we need to fully forget what happened, but it is about giving up the pain, not taking the obligation to carry the pain with us. Be really relieved of it, free of how long more do I have to suffer for somebody else's, oh my God, unskillful acts? Why would I do that to myself? Why, if I am kind? So that's why the first person needs to have all the kindness, and compassion and kindness in this case are very closely tied, right? So, for example, I mean, some of you don't know me, some of you have heard this before. I lost my son.
Mhm.
I mean, look, in the world of wounds, this
Mhm.
is unspeakable. This is something you can't reckon with. This is not something that can be forgotten. Mothers and fathers are done. They can't live fully. They cannot be happy. It's just something beyond anybody's, you know. And so for my own practice of being aware, being mindful, being compassionate, being kind to myself, every time a memory of him comes up, right? More and more I've become skillful about preventing myself from being the dagger going fully into my heart.
Sorry.
No, of course, I'm sorry. This is too much. Maybe I'm sharing, but this is a human experience. We all have.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm fine. I'm okay with crying in public. Go
No,
ahead.
cry. I mean, it's good to cry, and I'm grateful that it can touch your heart. But I want to tell you the incredible things we could do. Look, I would die for that baby. I would give anything if he came back. I would suffer until the end of eternity. If I knew it was beneficial, if I knew that if I right suffer that something would change. But I know better. I know there is no benefit to it. The only outcome is my demise, my loss of hope, loss of light, loss of health, there's nothing else that comes out of it. And it has nothing to do with my level of love for him, right? So this is hugely, skillfulness to develop, but slowly. And the forgiveness is a huge part of it. Not forgetting, not condoning, but giving up the pain, giving up the pain. So for example, just like, I don't know, a few days ago, I got this rush of grief coming to me, and I was almost falling into it. And I talked to my son. I said, sweetheart, I love you. I would suffer. I would offer my suffering to myself, if it was beneficial. But it's no, what's the use? Now I could say this because I've developed, these other skills, because my brain has been rewired. Thank God it's an automatic thing now for me. And I'm not expecting people to do that. But I share this so you know the vision. Where are you headed? You're headed into freedom from suffering. You're headed into such skillfulness, such strength of mind and wisdom that you know this suffering is useless. This pain is useless. And this pain, yes, I have to endure it. This other difficulty of sticking with it, meditating, reading, showing up, sticking with it, letting go of, like I say to some of my clients who are very serious about these things, my private clients, I say to them, do you understand that my best friend son died, and I went to a few things, but not the actual funeral. Do you understand? I was at a retreat. That's how important this was to me. At a retreat, I wanted to find out why, who is a mother, why does a mother suffer so much? And that was before, and my own sister, which I'm going to go now to be with my niece, drive 90 miles to be with her. She's 6-year-old now. She says, auntie, Tomorrow I have this thing and nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. I said, sweetheart, I'm coming. The same niece, when she was being born, I was at the monastery. Do you understand how important this is? That I will choose this route to any conventional things that are happening. But look where I am now. Look where I am now. Now I can choose not to suffer, not to have grief, with complete awareness, not denial or suppressing or, pushing it away, distracting, none of that. Oh, believe me. Right? I share this so you can have so it could inspire you to continue. I hope it's not too much. Yeah. Look, we do not have a standard, well-designed software. Human software is built with a lot of faulty codes in it. And it is our responsibility to learn how to decode these faulty codes, delete them, eliminate them, and recode them. Why not? What is better to do? What is better to do? There is nothing better to do. No accomplishment in this world. If you're coming from faulty codes in your mind, think of it, right? So I wish you guys well. Be well and be happy. And so the pond was a little bit of a bigger sort of a space where you can visualize something, and then the actual practice is to bring somebody up into your mind, somebody easy that you care about, and you think of them, that you wish them, may you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be at ease, may you be free, may you be free of stress, anxiety, worry, right? And then you bring someone you're neutral, kind of like, I don't know, maybe you went to a store, saw a clerk, and you think of them, oh yeah, that woman, she was standing there, how many hours she was standing there on her feet, serving us, right? Oh, may you be peaceful, may you be happy, may you be at ease, may you find true happiness, right? And then you move into a little bit more somebody that's a little, don't pick the hardest person on this planet, right? Or in your life. Pick somebody who just irritates you a little bit. Somebody is, easy hard, right? And then think about them. If they were, if they were not stressful, not stressed out, if they were not feeling anxiety, they may act better. So you wish them, may you be free of stress, may you be free of anxiety. Sometimes it's strange. Sometimes we want to hold on to not liking this other person. It's something a little strange, right? And it's our experience, it's human experience, not to judge it, but to be aware of it. It's like, no, I don't want to, may they not be happy. Oh, it's okay. So then the equanimity practice comes and says, it's okay. It's okay that you cannot have kindness right now. You forgive yourself for not having kindness right now. That's the essence of kindness, to allow yourself not to be kind. That is the core of it. And when you're capable of allowing yourself to not have it right now, hopefully maybe down the road, you can allow others not to have it. And so little by little, please don't go to the worst. Like I've had questions, like people would say, Are you saying that we should also, wish Hitler well for all the things he did, for all the, and I'm like, oh my God, just, this is not about that. This is not about allowing harm. This is not about being on the side of, atrocities and things of that. This is about, imagine a world, if that person was wise, if this man named Hitler, if he could be content, if he could be uh, compassionate, if he had compassion, if he could see the harm he's causing. And he wasn't alone, all these other hundreds of thousands of people who supported him, right? If these people were deeply connected, deeply satisfied, not stressed, not fearful, not anxious, right? Could they have made such decisions? Maybe not. I think it's to our best interest to wish them well. And not only them well, but as you wish them well, you clean the impact they left on you, right? You heal, you begin to heal the impact they left on you. But the opposite is, every time you think of them as the villain, him as the villain, he's not even here, but it's as if he's acting this again right now, and he's not. Do you understand? So it's really being on the side of goodness, and absolutely not standing for, somebody doing the wrong thing, protecting yourself, definitely protecting yourself, and finding the art of doing it with least amount of harm and the most amount of goodwill. Why? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be in a good space. It's to your benefit. That's why they call this, let's cultivate positive emotions. You feel positive. You don't feel bound by all the stuff that are going on in this world. You feel bound by all the good stuff that are going on in the world. Look, I'm one of the people who's marching. Like when I go walking, do walking meditation, we have 5 minutes, maybe you could do that. When I go to do walking meditation, when I hear the birds and see a bug or the trees or anything, I say, I'm rooting for you. I'm fighting for you. I tell them, I can't have a conversation with them, because I am part of these Planet Positive, with Stanford, we're working on changing the planet, changing shifting the direction of all the things that have happened to the planet and the humanity, and all of my curriculum, all of my things that I teach through our organization. It's about life, honoring, respecting, and protecting life, right? You could be on that side and not be bogged down by the other side. Just march on the good side and do the good things. But you have to, give that to yourself. So this is why we practice all this good stuff. So you get focused. You're focused on healing. You're focused on the positive, not because, to force it, but it becomes now you. You're so clean that you are on that path. But if you want to be on the path of who did what and get involved in their karma, it's just suffering. It's just, anyway, I went over and above the curriculum. So I hope you're okay with it. Yeah. Oh, I'm still recording.